Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Another day, another live stream from AMS Live. My name is Boy, we're standing at the Polderbaan. It is Friday, September 29th, 2023. We have wind blowing from the south. Got a few droplets here and there, now and then. And there is some more rain expected to arrive from the west around noon today. So I'm not sure how long I'm going to be able to stay out for. Maybe the rain will dissolve as it moves to the Netherlands. Maybe it will intensify. It's one of those days that we have to keep an eye out on the weather radar as well. For now, landings on Polderbaan. At the moment, the only runway in use for arrivals. Got a 747 underway. There are two more underway before the A380 will arrive. The A380 is expected to arrive around 1:15 or so, or maybe a few minutes earlier. Although I'm not sure if I'm going to make it until then, because as I said before, the rain is expected to come closer and arrive around noon. We'll see. In the meantime, let's see what we can capture of the morning arrivals. Goedemorgen Jackie, Lane, Leo, Stijn, Edward. Good to see you all. All other viewers who have joined in the meantime, welcome as well. Hope everybody is doing alright. Martin, goedemorgen kerel. Let's have a look. This is Air Astana. Flight 903, an Airbus A321neo has been flying for 5 hours and 53 minutes all the way from Atirau. This airplane is 5 years old. First flight was in July 2018. Hey, Pep Transit, goedemorgen, good morning. Lasse, goedemorgen kerel. Colin, Mac, good morning to you. Hey there, Kami, goedemorgen. Kumi. We did have Harry the Heron here already, but he flew away as I walked over. Haven't seen him since. No other birds. There were a few ducks in the water. I think they are more upstream, more northerly. This would be KLM flight 1224 arriving from Paris, Charles de Gaulle, Boeing 737-700. Short flight, 47 minutes. 13-year-old airplane. First flight was in January 2010. Ronald, goedemorgen. Shakar, goedemorgen. Willem, goedemorgen. Nick spielt so, guten Morgen. Schön, dass du auch wieder dabei bist. Herzlich willkommen. Tina, good morning. Happy Friday to you too. Hey there, TNC, good morning. So this is what it looks like. The wind is blowing from the south, although the rain is expected to arrive from the southwest. So this is the area of the sky I need to take a good look at to see what is coming. Right now it is cloudy, but it doesn't seem like rain is coming just yet. This is looking to the west, the south, the east, northeast. Further out it looks like it is more open. And this is looking to the north. Our next airplane is an Embraer 190 arriving from Hamburg. Flight 1778 KLM. 49 minutes of flight time. 5-year-old airplane. Hey Nelson, goedemorgen, good morning. And good morning to all other viewers who have joined us in the meantime. So as I said before, rain is expected to arrive around noon. Not yet sure if it is going to intensify or maybe dissolve as it moves towards the Netherlands. Often you get warned for showers and rain, and a lot of the times it dissolves as it moves to the Netherlands. Then again, on occasion things intensify. Showers being formed where there were none on the radar visible earlier. So we'll have to see. The upshot of standing in an open field is that you can typically see the weather coming well in advance. If the weather allows me to, then I am going to stick around until the A380 has landed, but again, not sure if today is going to be a day that we will make it. Wind is blowing from the south, not too hard. Headwind for the pilots landing on this runway. We have an EasyJet A320 arriving from Bristol, flight 22921, flight time 57 minutes, a 14-year-old airplane that was beginning its career as an airplane in August 2009. Hey Marissa, goedemorgen. Good to see you again. And indeed, as Lane was already mentioning, we have the first Queen already in the vicinity. Malaysia Airlines, good morning. Marnix, goedemorgen. Dankjewel. It will be the weather that will be the deciding factor for how long the stream is going to be today, I think. The only day of the upcoming weekend, long weekend, with chance of precipitation. Jordan, good morning. Stanley, goedemorgen. And Roy, goedemorgen kerel. Good to see you again. Hope all is well with everybody. Right, we're warming up. Got a 747 coming in. But let's see how this 777 from China Southern Cargo will land, what it will sound like. Not too bad. So if you guys were still half sleepy, hopefully this has awoken you. China Southern Cargo just landed all the way from Guangzhou. 12 hours of flight, ladies and gentlemen, half a day underway. And this airplane 13 years old, first flight was in October 2009. André, goedemorgen. Rick, goedemorgen. Mr. Meister, good morning. Bottleback, good morning. Tuning all the way from Sweden. Two airplanes visible in the foreground, Lufthansa A320 arriving from Frankfurt. After that we have a Turkish 777 arriving from Istanbul. The Lufthansa A320 landing now after 54 minutes of flight. Frankfurt from Utrecht, about a 4 hours drive. Unless you go really fast once in Germany on the parts of the Autobahn with no speed limits. Taking the first exit, which means a German butt shot coming in. Daniel, good morning. Maria, goedemorgen. Ooh, checking in all the way from New Zealand. So it is afternoon for you then. Jos, goedemorgen. T-Mac, good morning. Peter, good morning. You just joined in time. Everybody who has tuned in already is in time. The first queen is also coming soon. Paul, goedemorgen. Tuning in all the way from London. Big bird from Turkish. Flight 1951. And a Liebherr 914. Here it started its work as a... Oh, more is coming. Busy here with industrial traffic, agricultural traffic. Andreas, guten Morgen, herzlich willkommen. Tuning in from Austria. Jan Willem, goedemorgen. And indeed, Jackie, more sugar. It is the time of the sugar harvest. The stack of sugar beets that we saw grow yesterday, still over there. Where is it? Oh, too far to the right. Where is it? No. Here we go. All sugar beets. Alrighty, another 737-700 from KLM is coming. It is flight 1650, all the way from Venice in Italy. Flight time of this airplane right now, 1 hour and 47 minutes. 13-year-old airplane. First flight November 2009. Hey Debbie, good morning. Goedemorgen. Tuning in all the way from Wales. Peter tuned in from Southampton. Oh, there is an airplane landing on runway 27, but that looks like a one-off biz jet, which makes sense given the location of the general aviation platform. Yesterday we saw an Embraer Phenom 300 land on Polderbaan, which was surprising because earlier in the morning there was traffic landing on runway 27 and the vicinity of the general aviation platform is so much smaller, it's so much nearby. What do you know? Ryanair pilots using the reverse thrust. Just showing how small airplanes can also make big sounds when they do apply reverse thrust. Hey there, Big Al. Good to see you again. Doing well, thank you for asking. Hope the same goes for you, mate. Lieve goedemorgen, kerel. Good to see you again. Hope all is well. Well, A319 in the foreground, EasyJet arriving from Birmingham. Behind it is an Airbus A330-200 from KLM arriving from Edmonton, Canada. Let me pinch out. Number 3 is going to be the first Queen. Can we see her already? Let me also have a peek on the laptop screen, see what you guys are seeing. Not yet, by the looks of it. She'll soon show her face, undoubtedly. Hey there, Alan, good morning. Woody, good morning. "2:50 a.m. in Alabama. What are you doing up still then?" A good night's sleep is very important. Vacating via the first exit. And in the meantime, Queen number 1 is also visible in the background. In the foreground, KLM flight 676 arriving from Edmonton, Canada. A KLM Airbus A330-200. Flight time right now 7 hours and 55 minutes. A 17-year-old airplane that began flying in October 2005. And behind it, the first of 3 Queens expected before the Emirates A380 is expected. Now again, I'm not sure if we are going to make it until then, because an hour before the arrival of the A380, rain is also expected to arrive from the other side into the country. We have had a few droplets over here already as I was setting up, but we'll have to see. Sometimes it dissipates as it moves towards land. Sometimes it intensifies. And the first wheelie of the day also in the pocket. Not the longest we've seen, but definitely one that we can say has set the bar. Hey Gerrit, goedemorgen. It is still dry over here. We have had a few droplets as I was setting up, but it's dry once again. We'll have to wait and see for how long. Move Schiphol to Brabant, Jackie says. No rain here. Pretty curious to see what the Brabant people will have to say about that. It's already busy at Eindhoven every now and then. Marius, goedemorgen. Koen, goedemorgen. The first Queen of the day, ladies and gentlemen, Air China Cargo Flight 1001, Boeing 747, arriving from Chengdu in China. Current flight time of this airplane 10 hours and 18 minutes. The airplane itself 28 years old, began flying in February 1995. Right, well that will have to have woken you up if you were still half asleep. Willem Ves, goedemorgen. Benjamin, good morning. Hey Lisette, goedemorgen. Mabuba, good morning. Blackburst, good morning. Martin, goedemorgen. And as the Queen vacates the runway, and Embraer 175 is approaching from behind by the looks of it. Marissa Werkse, fijne dag verder. Got one Embraer 175 and it looks like the traffic after that are going to be heavies. This is KLM flight 1352 arriving from Prague in the Czech Republic. Flight time is 1 hour and 19 minutes. Behind it, Air Canada flight 808 arriving from, what was it again, Toronto. Taking the first exit, vacating quickly. Videsh, good morning. Geert, goedemorgen. World of Tanks, good morning. Mr. Adibos, good evening, I should say. Gosse, goedemorgen. Tuning in all the way from Alsmeer. Aaron, good morning. Air Canada flight 808 arriving from Toronto. Raccoon look, cockpit, or bank rubber look, or sunglasses. And next up is going to be United Airlines flight 968 arriving from San Francisco. Oh, and I just stood on one of my shoelaces. Let me tie them with a double knot so that I cannot accidentally untie them and trip. Alright, there we go. That should have taken care of it. Right, the next airplanes after this Dreamliner will be an A321neo from Vueling and an A320neo from SAS arriving from Oslo. Well, yesterday that flight did a go around for some reason. Probably not going to happen twice in a row, but we'll see. Hey Arjan, goedemorgen. Aaron says, back from the States, glad to be watching planes like this instead of being at airports waiting for delayed flights. I think we can all relate to that. In fact, a coworker and friend of mine texted me yesterday morning, and his wife was at Schiphol already, was supposed to be on a flight to Barcelona yesterday morning, and apparently the airplane got delayed. Probably something was damaged or something, and the flight would depart at 6 p.m. So there you go, stuck at an airport all day, got up early, and in hindsight all for nothing. Even if you're a big aviation fan, I can imagine having to wait long at airports while you're trying to get from A to B. At some point you'll grow tired of it and just want to go. Now going is this airplane, a Vueling A321neo. You can see it is banking left and right every now and then, despite the METAR saying there's only headwind. Flight 8300 has arrived from Barcelona. Chin Chun Lo, good morning. En Jolande, goedemorgen. It is part of, that's I think a healthy way to look at it, Aaron. Part of the experience. The thing is, you cannot control it, you cannot influence it, so you're better off accepting it for what it is than wasting energy being frustrated about it. Geert, goedemorgen. Gareth, good morning. Frits, goedemorgen. Well, Aaron, you did get the full flight experience. No doubt about that. Right, so next up is the airplane that did a go around yesterday, but it went around already at the point, before the point where the airplane is already. SAS flight 821 arriving from Oslo. Flight time 1 hour and 40 minutes, now touching down successfully in one effort. A 1-year-old airplane, this one. First flight was in April 2022. Seems to have had a nose job, or dipped its nose into stuff and forgot to wipe the tip of its nose. Right, let's quickly turn around because there's a 777 coming in from Johannesburg, KLM flight 592. Flight time 10 hours and 38 minutes. The airplane, a 777-300ER, 11 years old, first flight May 2012. And looking out on flight radar, looks like another triple is coming in from Doha after this one. Let's look and listen. Hey there Ian, good morning. Connie, goedemorgen. And nice that you like it. Adam, good morning. Indeed a nice wheelie. Now we do have a few drizzly droplets falling. Looks a bit iffy looking at where the weather is coming from. Let's see if it's going to stay with just a few droplets or if it's going to grow into something more substantial. They're also doing something in the grass over there, it looks like. Oh, that's probably a lawnmower for the angled bits of grass. Yeah, that's it, I think. Visibility seems to be impaired a little bit, so looks like some precipitation is also falling north of me. This is Qatar Cargo, flight 8201, arriving from Doha. 777 freighter, 5 years old, first flight August 2018. Current flight time 6 hours and 14 minutes. And you can see how visibility has gotten a little worse than 10 minutes ago. There is some precipitation in between the airplane and me. Hey there, Matt. Groetjes. Awesome. Good to see you again. Greetings back to Leeds. Right, so we're experiencing a slight drizzle right now over here. It's not going to last too long, it's not going to get the camera and stuff very wet. Should be okay then. Servus Peppi, auch wieder dabei heute Morgen. I will turn around the camera to the north so that the lens will hopefully stay. Well, there are a few droplets on it already. Let me also go to the laptop, have a quick look at the weather radar. As I was saying, sometimes it intensifies, sometimes it dissipates. Now let's have a look and see what the radar shows us. It doesn't show anything on the weather radar. The latest image. Let me check a different source. Just a little bit. Most of it is still overseas. We should be good for now. I think it is already slowing down again. Let me clean the camera screen. Did not forget to bring a wiping cloth with me today. A319 British Airways arriving from London Heathrow. The next airplane behind it should be a Tarom 737-800, which I think is vaguely visible over there. Unfortunately, as I checked the weather radar just now, it didn't look like the rain was dissolving as it moved to the Netherlands, so there's still a probability that we have to wrap it up earlier than normal today. For now, we're still good, I think. It's the only day of the weekend with precipitation in the forecast tomorrow. In fact, as of this afternoon, it is going to open up, get more sunny, and the whole weekend sunny and a few friendly clouds are predicted. Hey Anja, goedemorgen. Ah, going for a day trip, nice. Where are you guys going to? And indeed, Ian, I checked the radar as well. The rain that fell just now, it has already dried up again. Wasn't visible on the radar, so it's nothing too substantial. Got a Tarom 737-800 arriving from Bucharest, and after that we are expecting a Dreamliner arriving from Cartagena. The Dreamliner vaguely visible over there. Hey Remco, goedemorgen. Wendy, goedemorgen. Good to see you both. Hope all is well with you too. You do see some vortices at the tips of the flaps. High relative humidity. Okay, the drizzle has begun again. Well, probably won't last too long. At least that's what I'm hoping for. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, so they are... Oh, look at that. They're even going into the water with the machine. Yeah, the peninsula also gets a shave. Gillette, the best a man can get, is what they say, right? Well, this looks pretty neat as well. KLM flight 749 arriving from Cartagena. Touching down after 8 hours and 42 minutes of flight time. This Dreamliner 7 years old. Hearing some quacks from behind me, so now in front of me I think might have been these two or one of these two. There was one lady duck over here that was quite loud, so maybe that's one of the two. Indeed, Marijn, Bolt King as new sponsor. And good morning to you. Kobe and Jan, goedemorgen. Kevin, good morning. Now, if you have a backyard with a pond, these are the guys you need to rent to. Make sure that everything is tightly cut. Back up, missed the spot. Well, Matt, I'm pretty sure Gary has taken off well in advance. They're not too fond of loudness. which is probably also why they take a hike whenever they see me coming. Got an EasyJet A320neo arriving from London Gatwick, and behind it will be an E2 Embraer 195 arriving from Berlin. So the first machine does the curve, and the really deep end is for this beast of a machine. Alright, the next airplane is... Hey Tom, goedemorgen. Yeah, it's really odd that there are no ducks inside right now. I wonder why. Well, still a bit drizzly over here right now, although looking further out, maybe it is going to stop at some point. It does look a bit more open in some spots, so let's just wait and see. Next up is KLM flight 668. It is a 7879 Dreamliner arriving from Austin, Texas. Its flight time 8 hours and 55 minutes. The airplane is 6 years old and its first flight was in July 2017. So we now have the situation that if you look up you can see that there are some open spots in the sky, but if you look further out you can see it is still hazy, looking in the direction of the wind. It is a bit nebulous, that is precipitation obscuring the view. Then again, if you look to the west you do see some open spots in the clouds, so I'm thinking it will get dry again soon. Of course, pointing the camera up to the sky is not a good idea when it is raining. We have a moment to get everything dry again. There we go. Right, Georgios, good morning, good to see you again. Cheap Speed Media, good morning. Right, A350 time. Delta Airlines, flight 74, arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. Flight time 7 hours and 36 minutes. A 4-year-old airplane, had its first flight in June 2019. Oh, and now it is starting to rain a bit harder, which is funny because all the way around me I see more open sky. So these are probably, hopefully, the last remnants. However, if things keep going at this intensity, I will have to get the umbrella out. In fact, I think I will do just that. Probably the grand finale. Also cleaned the phone and camera screen. Alright, things are definitely intensifying at the moment. But I see clear sky all around me, that's the funny thing. If you look to the west, you can see, and even looking to the southwest, there is brighter sky coming. So this is just a momentary interruption, I think. Right, the next airplane to arrive is an E2 Embraer 195 from KLM, arriving from Geneva. It sounds like it is already slowing down again. See, bright sky behind me, so optimistic that I can get rid of the umbrella in a few minutes. We'll give the camera a wipe and the microphone as well, because they have gotten wet a little bit in the moments the rain intensified just now before I got the umbrella out. Now holding the umbrella with one hand and operating the camera with the other. So no zoom action right now. It does allow me to turn around the camera. Show you guys what it looks like where the wind is coming from right now. This is looking to the south and this is looking to the southwest, so it's definitely opening up a little bit. I think these are the last remnants of drizzle, so I think it is time to get rid of the umbrella once again. Yes. Now Let's make sure that the equipment is as dry as can be. Alrighty. Have to be very gentle. Don't want to scratch the lens. Right. I think we should be good again. Embraer 190 arriving from London City, and after this is Croatia Airlines flight 450 in the Star Alliance livery, an A320 arriving from Zagreb. Oh, and it seems that the chat on my phone has disconnected. Let's see if we can fix that. Let's have a look. Right, chat window. Let's try to reload it. Or has it reloaded? No. Just trying to open up the chat window again in my browser. It disconnected, and for some reason the browser was unable to reconnect. Alrighty, I think we're good again. Back to the split screen with flight radar. Alright. Let's have a look. Yeah, got Ian's message as last on both screens. Excellent. Alright. A320 Neo arriving from Prague. EasyJet. Flight 27926. Flight time 1 hour and 12 minutes. Oh dear, the rain is starting again. Hey, this is not good. We have bright clouds, and where are the droplets coming from? Thought we said the rain was over now. Anyway, hey there Jannes, good morning. Betty, good morning, good to see you again. Hope everybody is doing alright. We're having a few droplets now, but we should be good again. There is more substantial rain expected around noon. Not sure if it's going to dissipate or if it's going to intensify. So I'm not sure if we're going to make it until the arrival of the A380. Could be that around noon we have to end it because the rain becomes too bad to continue. Hey Jillard, goedemorgen. Ah, got the Orange Pride also coming in 23 minutes, arriving from Cape Town. Here we have a 737-800 arriving from London Heathrow. What we saw in the background, and you could see visibility was improving already again, so the precipitation north of me is also gone or mostly gone. Dreamliner arriving from New York JFK. I think we also should see two 747s relatively soon. Not sure of the exact arrival times, but I think they were expected before noon. Hey WD Computer, good morning. Botan, good morning. Koos, goedemorgen. Right. Also wiping clean my phone screen. Right, this is KLM flight 644 arriving from New York JFK 787-10 Dreamliner. Departed from New York 6 hours and 17 minutes ago. The airplane is brand new. The first flight of this airplane was in May 2023. Visibility back to normal again. You can see the airplanes departing from runway 24 again. Yeah, and no ducks in the water. How strange. Looking to the southwest where the weather is coming from. Looks open once again. Not much to be concerned with, so we should be good for now. That's either Russell or Cheryl. I'm not sure which of the two it is. Hard to see from over here, but at least one of them has returned. Now, I'm also seeing more activity on the little peninsula. Are they scavenging for any food that might have been shaken up? Right, Corendon Airlines 737-800 arriving from Billund is up next. Flight time 49 minutes. The airplane is 23 years old. First flight was in December 1999. And I saw that the chat froze again. Hey there Thierry Liri, goedemorgen, good morning, guten Morgen. Tuning in from Bremen. Well, hopefully you guys are having better weather than we do over here. By the way, Lance, good morning, good to see you. Hope all is well, mate. Bina Plummer, good morning. If I forgot to say hi to anyone, my apologies. Now, Ladies and gentlemen, look at this. We even see some patches of blue sky in between the clouds. So just a few thin clouds, looking good for the time being. Looking to the east, it's more dark. Looking to the north, it's more dark, but visibility is good, so no precipitation north of us as well. Our next airplane, small fuselage and big ass engines. It is an E2 Embraer 195 KLM arriving from Zurich, flight 1954. Departed from Zurich an hour and 17 minutes ago. The airplane is a year old. First flight was in November 2021. Hey there Monica, guten Morgen. And all other viewers who have joined us in the meantime, good morning to you all. Welcome to the show. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boyd. This is the polar-bound runway 18 right, currently the only runway used for arrivals. The prevailing wind is blowing from the south. The airplanes are landing from north to south, so they are faced with headwind mostly. It's the only day of the weekend, if you can count the Friday in the weekend, with precipitation expected. Oh, and I was saying that this is the only runway used for arrivals, and I stand corrected. I see a 737 that is... Oh, and the sun is coming out. Good. Nice. We have the first airplane for the center runway also approaching. I did bring along my winter coat, my parka, but it is a bit warm, so I'm going to take it out, stand in my t-shirt, because I can. Let's quickly update the weather, the ticker. The weather is already an hour or so old. Particularly curious to see if the wind has changed. Little bit, but not a lot. I'm copy pasting the METAR as we speak. Runway usage also needs to be updated. Well, no, it is already mentioning center. There you go. Right, Speedbird, Airbus. One of the many. Hey there, Fadi. Good morning. Alright, so the next airplane is going to be a 737-800 arriving from Paris Charles de Gaulle, KLM flight 1228. Wind has changed a little bit. It was from the south initially, now it is ever so slightly southwesterly, mostly still southerly. Parallel arrivals in progress as we speak, probably for another hour or so. Transavia 737 arriving from Ljubljana, the first airplane to land on the center runway, as parallel arrivals are now in progress. Hello there, Android phone, good morning. This is KLM flight 1228 arriving from Paris Charles de Gaulle. Short flight, 46 minutes. As you guys can see, if you look at the nose, you can see this is the only airplane in the fleet that still has the penultimate iteration of the livery. So not with the curvature in the beginning in the front, but a straight line. And a typical KLM landing, keeping up the speed, vacate late, sooner to the gate. Thank you for your kind words there, Fadi. Doing the best I can. Rambo asks if I prefer Airbus or Boeing. That's an impossible question to answer because I like both manufacturers for some reason or another. So to say if I prefer one over the other goes a bit far. There is a Dreamliner 10 approaching. It is coming in from Las Vegas. KLM flight 636 787-10 Dreamliner underway for 9 hours and 14 minutes. Now, interestingly, today there's also a different vehicle being used for bird control. Saw that earlier as it passed by. Not exclusively pickup trucks that are being used. So this Dreamliner arriving from Las Vegas. 9 hours and 14 minutes of flight time. The airplane is brand new. Well, almost brand new. Started flying in June of 2022. Peter says that the KLM Embraer just left Southampton going to Amsterdam. Well, I think we should be able to see it. Most likely it's going to land on this runway. Unless they're doing a runway inspection or something. A320 from Lufthansa arriving from Frankfurt. I think that's the second one we've seen in the stream thus far, or was it from KLM? The other one. Lufthansa flight 988. Flight time 52 minutes as we speak. This airplane is 8 years old, had its first flight in October of the year 2014. Hey there, Lucas. Good morning. Karsten, guten Morgen. Welcome one and all. Got more blue in the sky. If you look, you can see it. There's even a big patch of blue over here west of me, a little bit to the northwest. So things have opened up right now. For how long, time will tell. But for the time being, we're good. We can have two airplanes visible north of us. The first one is the A320neo from Play. And the second one, an A320neo from EasyJet arriving from Geneva. The Play A320neo, flight 460, arriving from Reykjavik. 2 hours and 38 minutes underway right now. Hey Johan, goedemorgen. This is a brand new airplane according to Flight Radar, meaning it is less than a year in service, and it began flying in October last year, so in a few days it's going to be a year old, or at least within a month, I should say. Hey Timon, goedemorgen. Doing well, thank you for asking. Hope the same goes for you, buddy. You've probably been busy as have I. Butt shot from the play airplane. Now. It does look like the water birds have returned, although more southerly than where I'm A320neo from EasyJet up next, coming in from Geneva. The wind is picking up a little bit, as you guys can probably tell. Last minute correction there. Orange Pride is on approach. Tiemann is informing us. That is good news. The next airplane first is going to be from Air Malta in all white. A wedding dress livery. Air Malta operated by Avion Express Malta. Flight 394. Airbus A320. Flight time from Malta to Amsterdam thus far, 2 hours and 52 minutes. The airplane is 15 years old. First flight was in August 2008. Hey Mario, guten Morgen. Schön, dass du auch wieder dabei bist heute. Ich hoffe, es geht dir gut. Now, talking about all-white airplanes, landing on the center runway right now is BH Air from Erbil, Iraq, also in all-white. Seems to be very popular dress code. I have to say, I like the regular livery of Air Malta better than this. Then again, most airplane liveries look better than all white. Maybe not the latest iteration of Iceland Air, but hey Paul, Yorkshire biker, good morning buddy, good to see you. Hope all is well, mate. Got Delta Airlines up next. One of those loud buggers, or at least the potential to be loud. The first Delta A330 of the show, arriving from Minneapolis, flight 162. And Lux Bro, good evening, tuning in all the way from down under, from Melbourne. What's going on, mate? Welcome. Right, Delta Airlines A330-300 from Minneapolis, Minnesota to Amsterdam, underway now for 7 hours and 41 minutes. This airplane, 19 years old, started flying in the year 2004. Let's see if the pilot flying knows where to find the handle to apply reverse thrust. Or if he fails to find that lever, maybe show us how a wheelie is done. Or maybe do both. lofty wheelie. Not very loud. Then again, I'm doing well, Yorkshire. Drying up from the rain we had earlier. See, there's still a little puddle on the bag of my tripod that I used to cover my power station with. So unless it is really pouring with rain, it stays dry from rain. Right, the next airplane is one we all know and love. It's the PHBVA. 15 years old, first flight January 2008, same as the Leicester Chocolaterie Embraer 190 from German Airways. This is of course the KLM Orange Pride. Flight 598, today arriving from Cape Town, South Africa, where this airplane departed almost 11 hours ago. 10 hours and 52 minutes. It is a 777-300ER. Let's have a look and see if there is going to be a wheelie and also if the reversers are going to be used. Could have been more impressive, I have to say, but it's always lovely to see this airplane. One of a kind, instantly recognizable. Now if you're new to the channel and you're liking what you're seeing, consider giving it a like, and also if you haven't done so already, do subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell icon so that whenever I go live you get notified, and if you have the time for it you can join us for more upcoming live streams in the future. One of the queens, she's going to the wrong runway. That is a bummer. It is Silkway West arriving from Baku. Flight 205, a 747-400. That is underway now for 4 hours and 45 minutes. A 17-year-old Boeing 747 that had its first flight in March 2006. This was KLM flight 696 arriving from Toronto, 7879 Dreamliner. 5-year-old airplane. I think I'm even hearing the reversers of the 747. Of course, on that runway it is using it. Hey Han, goedemorgen. Wow. It went to the wrong runway and it seems that we have to wait a bit for the next traffic for Polderbaan. However, traffic to the center runway is ongoing still. So let's have a look at what is coming next to that runway. This would be an E2 Embraer 195 from KLM arriving from Oslo. Flight 1142. Flight time an hour and a half. Brand new airplane. Started flying in January of this year. once again the wind is picking up a bit. Hey there, James, good morning. Good to see you again. Mike, good morning. Hope everybody is doing all right. Now, just now we had blue skies here and there. It is closing up again. More clouds coming in. Not yet extremely threatening, but definitely something to be mindful of. It's also getting a little bit colder, so let me put back on my coat. With the sun shining, a thick parka can be a bit overkill, but now it is nice again. Just wearing a t-shirt under it. Indoors it is still warm. And it's probably going to get warm again when the sun gets out later today and over the weekend. We have an Embraer 190 coming up next to the center runway, arriving from Billund, KLM flight 1342. Flight time 51 minutes. 11-year-old airplane, first flight January 2012. And blue skies in Yorkshire. Are you trying to make me jealous, mate? Nah, you guys are already experiencing what we will be having later, as of later this afternoon. So it was said that we are going to get a few rain showers around noon, or at least they arrive in the west around noon, and will have cleared the country by the end of the afternoon, and then the rest of the weekend and next week we are supposedly going to see sunshine, have temperatures of around 20 C, so that's about 70 F. Now, I'm always of the opinion I have to see it to believe it when it comes to the weather. Peter is saying that there are blue skies in Hampshire as well. Lucky Brits, it seems like. Alright, I see on flight radar that there is another airplane coming, but not before the next airplane to center has passed us by. So let's have a look at that for a moment first. I'm not seeing the airplane going to Polderbaan yet. Oh, and Alessia says that in Liverpool it is raining. So the eastern parts of the country are in the sun, but the northwestern parts aren't. Oh, and in Scotland blue skies too, so there's only one solution. Move Liverpool more northerly or easterly. This is an A320neo, by the way, EasyJet, arriving from Copenhagen, which is always about an hour of flying, and that is no exception for this flight. An hour and 3 minutes it is underway as we speak. 4-year-old airplane, first flight September 2019. But I'm seeing the next airplane, KLM flight 1724, 737-800, arriving from Brussels. Short flight, 26 minutes. These pilots have to prepare for landing as soon as they have retracted the landing gear on takeoff. The airplane is 4 years old. First flight was in March 2019. And Bina is always having perfect weather in the living room. That is... You know what? I think I have it. I have that too. Favorable microclimate. Hey Danny, goedemorgen. And in Amersfoort, a bit further to the center of the country, the sun is coming out from behind the clouds. We had that as well over here. Momentarily, I think 15 minutes or so ago. It has changed in the meantime. It is more overcast right now. This is looking to the south. This is looking to the west. This is what I'm looking at when looking to the east. And back to the north. Now, looks like a big bird is coming in, and it is KLM flight 765, an Airbus A330-200 arriving from Bonaire. It is airborne now for 8 hours and 24 minutes. 16-year-old airplane, first flight November 2006. And Peter W, good morning, good to see you, hope all is well. At least you have blue skies and sunny weather there where you're living, that's good. I'm totally not jealous of you Brits. Just need to be a bit more patient over here in the Netherlands is all. Now you can see that the nose of the airplane is pointing in our direction somewhat, indicating that the wind has changed from purely south to a bit more southwesterly. A little bit of crabbing, but nothing substantial. Now, in theory, these things can be loud, the A330s. Typical KLM pilot doesn't know where to find the reverse thrust lever, so let's see how this landing goes. Hopefully these guys aren't mistaking me for someone who does sound volume measurements, thinking that if they are too loud when passing me by on landing that I am going to report them so KLM gets a fine or something. As far as I'm concerned, they can be as loud as they want. Too bad that they don't do that very often, particularly not the KLM pilots. They're too civilized. Gillian is warning us, it won't last long. Yeah, that's the thing with weather, it almost never lasts long. At least not in our part of the world. Both UK and the Netherlands have rapidly changing weather circumstances all year round. Hey Anne, goedemorgen. Greet, goedemorgen. Good to see you both. The next airplane coming in is Air Transat, arriving from Montreal, the A321neo, the daily flight 324. Flight time 6 hours and 21 minutes as we speak. And it too is pointing its nose a little bit towards us, as you guys can see. Crabbing to the runway. Right, now this airplane is 4 years old already. Began flying in June of 2019. You can still see the vortices emanating from the tips of the flaps shortly before touchdown. A phenomenon you see when relative humidity is high. You can also see the same phenomenon from winglet wingtips, particularly on airplanes like the A330, 300. And the flaps of the 777 are also good sources for vortices when relative humidity is high. Now, the next airplane to arrive is from Iberia Express and is coming from hopefully sunny Spain, Madrid to be precise. Flight 3722, it is an Airbus A320. Flight time 2 hours. 21-year-old airplane, and in the top left quadrant you can vaguely see the next airplane, if I'm not mistaken. At least it looks like. Or is it... was it just... Well, again, my 3-inch camera screen does not always show as much detail as you guys can see on a full screen. It does feel like wind is picking up again. Let's see if I can find the windsock that is in the vicinity of the fire station. So, judging the windsock, it looks like southwesterly wind. Also, now looking to the southwest, it doesn't look that very cheerful anymore. It is a bit more dark, as you guys can see. We'll have to look at the weather radar as well to see how long we're going to stay dry for. Let me do that just now. Just a quick peek. Alright, Buienradar. Well, we did have that little line of precipitation passing over. That has passed. Or is that a new line of precipitation? Yeah, that's a new line of precipitation. Oh, is that it? Okay. And it also looks a little bit like it is dissolving as it moves towards the mainland. What is the 3-hour? Yeah. Should hit land around 11:30 or so. So in 20 minutes or so from now, the weather is expected to get rainy again. We'll see. It doesn't look like it is a very extensive area of rain, nor very intensive. Then again, looks can be deceptive. We'll see. For now, we're still good. This is an Embraer 190 arriving from Bristol. Got an Embraer 175 arriving from Norwich next. Wasn't there another 747 in the vicinity by now? Or was it expected to arrive later? Yeah, 747-8. But it is approaching from Dubai, and that means probably going to land on the parallel runway. Unless they're really going to close down runway center again soon, which I don't think they will. Looking at the inbound traffic on flight radar, it is still relatively busy. Right, Embraer 175, KLM flight 1516, arriving from Norwich, short flight, 35 minutes. Yorkshire biker confirming what I already feared. The 747 not going to this runway. I think that was the only 747 before the A380 as well. Next airplane to arrive on Polderbaan is Transavia flight 5672, arriving from Ibiza. Flight time 2 hours and 13 minutes. The airplane is 13 years old. First flight was in April 2010. Alright, Anna has to go. Thanks for joining. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you soon. Alrighty, Nick asks if tomorrow there's another live session. I think there will be, unless the weather is interfering, but it should be good tomorrow, so very likely there is going to be another live session tomorrow. And we did get spoiled yesterday in terms of the 747's launch, you're right. But it would have been nice, wouldn't it? Hey Marlene, goedemorgen. Embraer 190 arriving from London City, up next for Polderbaan. EasyJet A319 arriving from Venice, passing us by, going to center. This is KLM flight 986. Embraer 190 arriving from London City. 42 minutes of flight time. 14-year-old airplane. First flight November 2008. Now, is Captain Willy on board? Each time we've seen a tremendous Embraer 190 KLM Willy. It did look similar each time. Pretty sure it was the same pilot. Now this is not the one, or if it is, today is not the day, which can also be the case. Got another tractor coming this way. Is that vent and concrete poles on the back, it looks like. Hey there John, good evening. Tuning all the way in from Canberra, down under. Oh, they're wooden units. What are they? Looks more woody than concretey. Moped coming from the other side, so the tractor driver is making way. EasyJet A319 arriving from London Luton. Oh, and the shovel is behind. It's a get together of big vehicles left of me. Hey, there it is, passing by.
Good Klopt het dat jij net ook een video gemaakt hebt van ons of niet?
Wat zei je?
Klopt het dat jij net een video of iets van ons maakte?
Als jullie voorbij rijden, eventjes laten zien. Ja.
Oh, je bent live of iets?
Ik ben live, ja. Dus het verkeer wat hier langskomt, dat hoorden mensen op de microfoon. Dus dan laat ik even zien van, hé, het is een tractor die voorbij komt of het is een shovel die voorbij komt.
Nou, ik denk als je een video had gemaakt, misschien had je hem door kunnen sturen of iets in de
richting. Je moet even kijken. AMS Live, dat is mijn kanaal. Dus ik ben gewoon live nu, dus je kan gewoon op YouTube kun je het terugvinden.
Oké,
ja.
Goed.
Ja, leuk man. Fijne dag. Dank je. So the guy operating the tractor was just wondering if I was filming them because he thought it would be nice to watch it back. So told him where he could find the live stream and the content. Got a 737 arriving from Paris Charles de Gaulle, KLM flight 1230. James asks, are crosswind wheelies a good idea? Well, they obviously aren't. Which is also probably why they aren't doing a lot of wheelies right now. Indeed, James, AMS tractor spotting live. They are big mofos, aren't they? The tractors. Yeah, and the poles as well. Don't want to be carrying them by hand. Wouldn't want to be carry them by hand. Right, another Embraer 175 coming up, and the NetJets Embraer. Is that's the Embraer Phenom again that I think we also saw yesterday. Going to center. I'm looking. Oh, it is a very small speck on the horizon. Let me see if I can show you guys. BizJet flying to runway center. There we go. So this is, I think, the same Phenom 300 that we saw land on Polderbaan yesterday. Really tiny airplane. And again, with the prevailing wind, why aren't they directing it to runway 22? Or if they want to save the citizens of Amsterdam, because then the approach would be over the city center, why not have it land on runway 27 as an exception? Seems a bit odd to me. Now the airplane still has a significant taxi ahead of it, although not as lengthy as when it had landed on the Polderbaan. Still, general aviation platform is on the other side of the airfield, the southeasterly part, and we are standing here in the northwesternmost part of the airport terrain, if you can call it that. Right, Embraer 175 arriving from Aberdeen coming in next. There's another airplane behind it already. That would be a 737-800 arriving from Edinburgh. Both are from KLM. The airplane in the foreground arriving from Aberdeen. Flight time 1 hour and 13 minutes. 7-year-old airplane. First flight March 2016. So this is what it looks like in the direction of the wind. Generally speaking, doesn't look like it's going to rain just yet, but it is darkening up a bit more. We'll see how it goes. Now, the 7478 is also on the glide slope for runway center in the meantime. I think I have the airplane in sight already. Now, we've seen the landing of the 737, so... I'll be damned. You guys are hearing it. The 737 using the reverse thrust there. I was a bit surprised. Normally you don't hear that. Right, so the 7478 from Cathay Pacific Cargo arriving from Dubai, flight 3165. The airplane underway now for 6 hours 34 minutes. This airplane is 9 years old already. Had its first flight in November 2013. The third queen, the second one going to center. Alas, unless we are lucky and another 747 is coming to Amsterdam from, for instance, Paris Charles de Gaulle, or maybe from Frankfurt. If it takes off now, maybe it will arrive in the Netherlands by the time the parallel runway has closed again in favor of just this runway. If no surprise 747s are coming in the meantime, this is most likely the last 747 today, at least before the A380 arrives, which again I'm not fully sure of yet that I'm going to be around for. This is the Embraer having arrived from Newcastle. KLM flight 954. Now, all the heavies are in, the 747s. Now would be a good moment for ATC to close the runway once again. Now the next airplane to arrive on this runway is coming in from Southampton, it looks like. We are going to see a few more arrivals on the center runway first. This is a Boeing 737-800 arriving from Stockholm. KLM flight 1106. Flight time 1 hour and 53 minutes. The airplane 23 years old. First flight was in July 2000. I am starting to feel a few droplets. This would be Austrian Airlines, flight 379 arriving from Vienna. Flight time 1 hour and 28 minutes. The airplane is 10 years old. First flight September 2013. Now I haven't seen a lot of activity on the other side of the runway. where the big heap of sugar beets is still there. I haven't seen any harvesting or anything picking them up. Seems like they have taken the day off in that respect. Next up is an Embraer 175 KLM flight 916 arriving from Southampton, flight time 47 minutes. The airplane is 6 years old, first flight January 2017. In the meantime, we are starting to get rain again over here. Got the umbrella out because it is raining again. Right around the time the weather radar said it would. Now, let's have another look at the weather radar, shall we? Well, according to the weather radar, the rain that was coming is dissolving as it is coming in. So let's just hold out for a bit longer. Even though when you look around you can see that it is a bit more hazy. That is because of precipitation falling. So let's just see, because it was dissolving as it was moving into the country. So I'm optimistic. Doesn't look too dark behind me. We might get lucky, actually be able to stick out until the A380 arrives, which will undoubtedly go to the parallel runway by the time it arrives, but let me try to re-enable the split screen once again. Checking the weather on my phone. Had to close the split window, otherwise I wouldn't be able to see the radar. It was just going to say no rain predicted. As you guys can hear, it has already stopped raining again, or nearly stopped raining again, so hopefully that will be the end of it. Will have been the end of it. Right, we can wrap up the umbrella once again. While we're waiting, it's an Embraer Fest right now. Checking the lens, it does look good. A few droplets on my camera screen. Let me wipe them away quickly. We should be good again. So I think we've caught a lucky break there. The rain that was supposed to come in around around noon appears to have dissolved as it moved land inward or towards the mainland. So let me not say this out too loud, but maybe we've dodged a bullet here. This is an Embraer 190 and another Embraer 190 is following. This one, KLM flight 1740, arriving from Luxembourg, where it departed 45 minutes ago from 5-year-old airplane. First flight February 2018. Now, I'm also not seeing any traffic going to center anymore. Not over here in real life nor on flight radar. I think it means that the runway is closed again, which would be nice. There's an Embraer 190 coming and there should be a 777 behind it. I'm looking at my laptop screen to see if we can see the triple already, but I think it is still being obscured by the clouds. 777 arriving from Curaçao. Should be coming in quickly. And you're right, photo for you. Oh, and there it is. A bit of moisture on the runway does give opportunities for spray, provided that the pilots use those reversers. Alright. Well, LVNL is always running behind. I'm always checking flight radar to see what is happening in actual practice and also looking around. Not seeing any traffic going to center anymore, so my guess is that in a few minutes LVNL will also say that center will have been closed. Embraer 190 arriving from Dublin, Ireland. What do you know? Two surprises. First of all, the Embraer using the reversers. The second surprise is no spray. So apparently the rain was insufficient to cause significant moisture or dampness on the tarmac to cause a nice spray. Now we can see that the triple was pointing directly towards us. It has moved a little bit to the right with its nose. There is still crosswind. Let me also have a look and see if maybe I have a few moments to update the ticker with the latest weather after this airplane has landed. Oh, bumpy. It looked a bit bouncy. KLM flight 736 arrived from Curaçao. 8 hours and 12 minutes of flight time, 777-300 ER. Hey, Berend, goedemorgen, good morning. Alright. Next airplane to arrive is an Embraer 190 coming in from Glasgow. Let me quickly go behind the laptop, go to flight radar, check what the latest METAR is and paste it into the ticker. You can also see that there's another Delta Airlines coming. Okay, wind has not changed in the METAR. 210 degrees, 12 knots. That's the same as it was earlier. It's interesting because it does feel like a bit more, it is a bit windy, it has become a bit more windy. I also need some coffee. My English being quite shitty today. But probably still understandable. Alright, get rid of 18C. There we go. All right. German Airways, flying for KLM as KLM flight 1474, coming in from Glasgow, Scotland. Flight time 1 hour and 5 minutes. 15-year-old airplane, first flight January 2008. In the top left we can see the airplane behind it, which is a 737 from KLM, an 800 coming in from Birmingham. Wow, that's like the 3rd or 4th airplane coming in from Birmingham already since I began streaming. And we've been streaming now for what, 2 hours or so? Okay, I'm starting to feel a few droplets once again. Also feels like the wind is more than 12 knots right now, but... And even though the weather radar says that there wasn't going to be any more rain, it does look like more rain is coming. Now also the lens has gotten wet. Let me first take out the umbrella once again. Is that the last round then? Flight radar didn't say anything, so I'm assuming it's going to be nothing too substantial. However, I'm assuming you guys are hearing the droplets fall on the umbrella. It's not exactly dry right now. Right, Lane has to go. Thank you for joining, Lane. See you soon. Let's see. Got another Embraer from KLM, an Embraer 190 coming up next, arriving from Aalborg. Then a 737 from Transavia and an A330 will be number 3. So it would be nice if the rain were already over before the A330 arrives. First airplane, the Embraer 190 arriving from Aalborg, not yet visible. Another German Airways, Embraer 190 flying for KLM, flight 1330. Also visually not seeing anything yet. Let me do a quick check. Laptop tent is keeping everything nice and dry, and the cover, the bag for my tripod is keeping my power station nicely dry, so we should be good. Looking behind me, still foggy, precipitation. Interesting, because there was no precipitation on the radar, the latest picture of the weather radar. All right. Oh, now it sounds like bigger droplets are falling. Interesting. Let me do another check of the weather radar. If this is going to last, then I am going to wrap it up. Otherwise, it's not going to be good for the equipment, I think. Oh yeah, the weather radar, different source, does say rain now at least, let's see, until 12:20. Funny how different sources of information give different information. I think it is time to wrap up, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully everything will stay dry as I'm getting things back in my bags. Probably going to be out for hopefully tomorrow when everything is staying dry and in one piece. I am going to wrap it up. Bit shorter than before. Thanks for joining me, ladies and gentlemen. If you like what you saw, definitely don't forget to subscribe and like. I will see you again all soon, hopefully. Bye for now. Take care.